American tariffs on Canadian goods are set to kick in tomorrow. U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that's the case this afternoon. And while he was vague on details, Trump was adamant there's no way the tariffs can be avoided.
Mr. President, is there anything China, Canada, and Mexico can do tonight to forestall your implementation of tariffs tomorrow?
No, nothing. Not right now, no.
Not a negotiating tool?
No, it's not. No, it's a pure economic. We have big deficits with, as you know, with all three of them.
Is there a concession you're looking for, sir?
No, we're not looking for a concession, and we'll just see what happens.
We will see what happens. According to the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, the public will have to wait until tomorrow to see the plans outlining the full details. So now for more on the blow this is going to deal to Canadian workers, let's turn to Lana Payne. She is the national president of Unifor, Canada's largest private sector union. She's also a member of the Prime Minister's Advisory Council on U.S. Trade, and she joins us now from Toronto. Appreciate you making the time, Lana. As Kate mentioned, the Prime Minister held a meeting on these tariffs today. You were at that meeting. What can you tell us about those discussions?
I mean, we're all, I think, feeling it right now. This has been many months of chaos being created by President Trump, even prior to his inauguration. Of course, this chaos strategy has been playing out. And the reality is right now is we have a lot of Canadian workers who will be caught in the crosshairs of any actions that he takes. And I will say to you, are already being caught in some serious decisions that are being played out in workplaces all across this country as businesses either curtail investments, cancel investments, and as we all know, investments mean jobs. And that's a real problem that we're already facing just with the threat of tariffs.
Yeah, things are so unpredictable now. It's hard for an entrepreneur or business person to make decisions and make plans because you don't know what's coming down the road. Can we talk about what this 25% tariff will mean for your members?
It would be disastrous, Dwight. We have 120,000 members in what I would call trade-dependent or trade-exposed areas of the economy, from auto to oil and gas and energy and forestry and aluminum, all of the places that you've heard being targeted by the president. And the reality is, and I hope Canadians understand this right now, we have a president of the United States that has declared economic war on Canadian workers and on our country. And we will have no choice but to respond in the strongest possible way to those tariffs if we get them, but also to the chaos that we continue to see. And that's important too. The threat of tariffs are also dangerous to our economy. And it seems like those threats are continuing, and we have a long 4 years here to deal with. So Canada has to make some other longer term decisions around what we potentially could be facing.
I know you've been hearing from your local chapters in the lead up to this. How is the union then preparing to weather this storm that's heading our way?
Well, a number of things. Obviously, we're in constant contact with our locals. We've been doing a lot of work internally. We've had a list of demands for the federal government, first of all, making sure, and provincial governments, making sure that we have strong worker supports, because the supports we have, the safety net we have in Canada is just not going to be sufficient to support workers across the country through what could be a prolonged trade war. Secondly, we have to look at supporting industries so that we can keep Canadians working. And thirdly, we have to make decisions around what we can do that are non-tariff related. We have a lot of things in our control. We have a lot of leverage, and we can use that leverage, put our procurement dollars to work, to put Canadians to work, and, buy Canadian all the time right now. And I would encourage Canadians to do exactly that.
What are you hearing from your U.S. counterparts, from some of the unions down there about this?
Yeah, some of them are also concerned, obviously, Dwight, because some of these sectors that we talk about, whether it's auto or aerospace or any of them, there is such an interconnected.
That's right.
I mean, obviously, they're going to be impacted too. If we stop, or if there's production that stops in Canada, that will have an impact in the United States. There's no doubt about it. That's why we say always American workers, not just consumers, but American workers and their jobs are at stake as a result of these tariffs as well in quite a number of parts of the United States and quite a number of sectors, given the interconnectivity. And, you look at oil and gas. We send oil to the United States. It employs people in refineries there. So there is a lot at stake right now, and getting the message out, not so much to the president, but the people around the president, the people who help him make his decisions right now, around the impact that this will have on American workers is critical. But in the meantime, Canada is prepared and must be prepared to respond strongly and swiftly.
I know you're encouraging us to buy Canadian, but before I let you go, how far do you think the retaliatory tariff should go?
We've been clear about this. We think it needs to be dollar for dollar. It doesn't have to dollar for dollar, not necessarily 25% across the board, but dollar for dollar and very targeted in terms of maximum impact that we can have.
She's a member of the Prime Minister's Advisory Council on Canada-U.S. trade as we deal with this. Lana Payne, National President of Unifor. Thank you for your time this Friday evening. Thank you, Lana.
Thank you.